Alright, welcome back to Home Design Studio. Today I'll be talking about doors and windows in Archicad. Before we jump into the tutorial of today, I would like to first of all set the units by going to Options, Project References, and the Working Units. I go to, I think they are centimeters, and here I will leave it as they are today. Let me check with the dimensions also. Okay, centimeters, so now leave them as they are. So, something I want you to know is that doors and windows are part of the wall in Archicad. They do not have a particular layer in Archicad because they have to be placed inside the wall. So before I start to draw or to place doors and windows, I would like to draw a wall before. Let me go to wall and go to settings, and then go to thickness. I'll put 30 centimeters, and then I'll say not length. I put 3 meters. Yes, 3 meters. And go to surfaces, and I will set. I'll put maybe I'll leave it stuck white rough and hit OK. All right, let me draw my wall. Let me draw a 10 meters wall here. All right, but I think it looks a little bit not graphical, so I'll go to View, on Screen View option, and activate the bold cut line. Maybe I will go back to View, on Screen View option, and instead of activating the bold cut line, I will activate True Line Weights, which is a little bit visual and graphical here. All right. So I'll go to door, and another thing I want you to know is that most of the settings about doors are very similar to windows. So I'll go to settings by, I can either go to settings by double clicking on the door icon here and reach the setting dialog box here, or I can click on door icon in the info box with a single click. Or another way to reach these settings by hitting Control T on Windows or Command T on Mac. In this case, I'm using Windows, so I'll hit Control T. And one thing I forgot to mention is that you have to hit Control T when the door icon is active. Here we go. This is the setting dialog box here. We'll have mainly 4 parts. We have this library part here, and the second part is its preview. Everything that you click on here is previewed in this area here. And the other parts are the preview and positioning setting dialog, where you set the heights and the door seals and reveals. On the other side, you also have the preview of what you are about to draw. Here, down here, there are some other settings where you customize your doors accordingly. All right. So When you go here, you can choose among the types. You see that we have garage doors. You can choose one if you want to use garage doors. We have hinged doors, and you see in the preview that we have various types here: rotating doors, sliding doors, and each of those folders have the different types of doors inside. In our case today, we will be using the hinged doors and unhinged doors, and maybe we can choose a simple door here, and we can either set the width, the heights, the seal to story, and then reveal. And here you can also see some of the previews of what we are about to do. You can see that if I click here, the preview changes into something a little bit different to the previous one, and you see that the width and the height has also changed. When we go back here, you see that the width and height have also changed, and the 2D preview here has changed. In the preview, you can either visualize the way you want it. You can either look by the front view or the 3D view, or even the preview image, the image of the door, how it will be looked when you end up. In this case, you can either let it the way you want it, either 2D, either 3D, or in a plan. Okay, so you can either choose various things here, but we are not going to go inside them today. So I will put the width will be 90, and the height will be 210, the default values. The seal to story, I will not put any value, I will put 0, and I will leave it as it is here. You're going to go to various settings here and change some of the default settings into something that you really like. For instance, here we have this folder here. This one is well, here we can click inside and go to various other settings. And you can also see, to read that, you can click back here, or to go to various settings, you can either use the arrows. You can either go next or go to the previous. For instance, here you see that we have various other options here. We can either set door leaf by clicking here and choose between the leaf types that are in here. In our case here, you can choose whatever you want, and the preview is displayed here. And in our case today, I will use no grid. You can also set the handle. You can choose what type of handle you want to display. In this case, maybe let me choose something a little bit simple, like this one. To continue setting other things, you can either go next and change values and everything, but I think today we are not going to go through all of this today. So I will leave them as they are. On this lower part, we still have some other settings such as the floor plan and section. So to toggle between various types of settings, we click on this arrow and we open all these settings. You see we have the floor plan and section where we can set the pens and the colors. you have the dimension and markers where you can put some types of markers and stamps. Such type of things, I think we shall see them in our later tutorials when we start to apply those things to a real project. We can also set the classification where you can put this type of door and all the information related to these doors, like setting if it is load bearing, non-load bearing, and so on. All these properties are available for such things. You can set things like the fire resistance, sound transmittancy, the product info such as the serial number, the production company, and so many things, the glazing and everything inside here. And I hope we shall see them in our later tutorial. For now, let us let it as we have set them and click OK, and then we are able to place our door. When we go over the wall, then we shall be able to immediately deactivate these things, because if you noticed, there was some snap to grids, which was really embarrassing, so I deactivated them. All right. When you go over the door, the wall, you see that there is a preview of the door or window that you want to place. So you can see that little icon, sun icon, which wants you to decide where the opening will be, either inside or outside. So in this case, I will click, okay, and decide where my door will be opened from. You see that we have various options here. After I click, I have some options of where this door can be opened. It can be opened outside. In this case, if it is to open outside, then our mouse will be placed outside. If we want it to open inside, then our mouse will be put in the inside. We can toggle between the right or the left by simply dragging our mouse in that position. This happens either inside or outside. In this case, let me open the door outside on the left side. And there is a single click, and then we have already placed our door. Something really weird here is that there is a setting that we can do to improve this, because you see that this is not good. So I'll go to Documents and go to Model View option, and then go to detailed doors and windows, and choose those kinds of detailed doors and windows, and click OK. In this case, you see that it's better now. All right. This happens to both doors and windows, because if I want to place a window, it happens in a very similar way. If I click on the window, I can either go to settings by a single click on the window icon in the info box, or double click on the window icon in the toolbox. Here you can also set everything accordingly. Yeah, I'll leave them as they are for now and say, alright. You see that there is always some positions as we have seen it on the doors. After I'm satisfied with the positioning and the directions, I will click OK, and then our window is placed. Alright, let us see how it looks like in 3D. You can see that this is our placed door, and this is our placed window. Alright. Whenever you want to do some changes or on the doors and windows, you have to first of all select, and then you can either double click or go to settings or hit Ctrl+T on your computer to go to settings and do change whatever you want. In this case, let me change the door type from this type to something like maybe this one. You will notice that if I change that one, all the settings that I have done here have also changed. So you go back into all those settings, and maybe you can choose whatever you like here, and then set it however you want it. And when you are satisfied with those settings, you hit OK and then place that one. You see that it has already changed into something different from the previous one. Let me go to 3D and see what happened. You can see that we have dramatically changed our door type, and it can be seen in both 2D and 3D. Alright, some of the settings that you really have to consider in the doors and windows. Let us go maybe on the window and go to settings and see what we can do on the setting dialog here. You can see that we can scroll or go next into those different folders and change what we really want in here accordingly. You can see that we can always change the materials. Maybe various materials and change it into something maybe black. And continue with maybe the review, how our window will be viewed. Let me choose this type of review. Let me go next. Page change. You can always change the floor plan and how the floor plan will look like. You can either choose which types of line that you want to choose here. You can choose black and 13 millimeters type of lines. In this case, you see some changes in the floor plan. Alright. When you are satisfied with the settings in here, you can always go next and set. You see that the settings here are finished, so you can always come back to some settings. You see that this method is somehow taking a little bit of time. So you can go over this bar here and click, and then you choose what type of settings that you want to go through. For instance, I want to go to the opening line, and when I go to opening line, there is the opening line in 3D and also the opening line in 3D. What I want to set is that one of 3D because I want to remove that particular opening line in the 3D. So what I will do, I will activate override model view option, and when I override the model view option, I have the ability to uncheck this opening line in 3D, and then I will say okay, and you can see that both in the floor plan and also in the 3D, everything has changed. You see that we have changed the region type. You see that we have changed the line type compared to this door. You see that we still have this red because we have not set these doors. You see that this one has a little bit of settings compared to this one. Let me go back to 3D and see what happened. You can always see that everything has changed inside here. All right. You see that this opening line, you can see this opening line here, but you cannot see it inside on the window because you have already set this one. Let me select this one and go back to settings and show you what type of settings I have done to remove the opening line. You can still see the opening line here, and you click on the opening line, you go to override the model view option here, and then you activate the override the model view option that uncheck the opening line in 3D, and then hit OK. You see that this line has already removed. All right. Now that you have seen some of the settings, and I recommend you to go through all the settings and play around and see what you can do with the settings. Now I will show you how to create your own custom door and window. You can go to slab and create something like a door with the correct dimensions. I'll put 90 and from 10, 210, and then I will go over the slab again. I will draw something like this one. Let me go to these custom settings. I'll draw something like this. Then I'll go to this slab, click on the edge, I will remove this slab here, then click on the settings, go change the surfaces into the wood panel grain, that's okay. And I will go over this, change it into something like glass, maybe glass clear fast, and override the surfaces, and then click OK. Then after you finish, I will go and select all those objects that I have finished to create, and then go to File, go to Libraries and Objects, and Save Selection As. I will save as though I leave. If you want to create a window, custom window, you would save window sash. And if you want to create door, you would save door leaf. In this case, let me create on the door leaf, and let me name it maybe sash day, or in Home Design Studio, like this one, and then I'll click save, and this information will come here, and I will say OK, and then deselect everything. I'll go to door, we'll go to settings, and I will choose the last leaf that I came to create. Like, you just go to door leaf types, and then go to this little arrow here. You can choose between various door leaf types. You remember that we have created HDS, so I'll choose this HDS and then click OK. Then I will place this door inside this one. Alright, and let me preview it in 3D. You can see that this door has already created. This happens to both windows and doors, but if you want to create windows, you have to create as window sash. Thank you, and I will just see you in the next